In this video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the next activity you need to do, which is 6.2. This is the visual analysis, and we're actually starting our reverse engineering project with this activity. So make sure you and your partner have talked to me. You've chosen your project. Most of you will probably pick the Automoblocks cars. So make sure you pick one that you feel is at your group's capability to finish in this time period. If you've chosen something else, make sure you've gotten it okayed by me. We don't want to pick something that's way too complicated that it can't possibly be done in the time we have. And we also don't want to pick something that doesn't really meet the requirements because that's not good. So to do this activity, you're going to want to open up whichever one of these you're using. So for example, if you're using the Automoblocks car, go ahead and click on that one. This will open up right there, or you can download it and open it that way. I'm going to go ahead and full screen it and zoom in just a little bit so we can kind of read this. What you're going to need for this is going to be just your engineering notebook and a digital camera. You all either have your Chromebook camera or a cell phone camera. And the procedure is right here. What you're going to want to do in your engineering notebook is identify the product and the manufacturer. If you're doing the Automoblocks cars, it's going to be the Automoblocks and then whatever model. So T9, C9, S9, whatever that is. Next thing you're going to want to do is take 3 pictures of your product from different angles. You're going to want to include these in your visual analysis. You can print them out. The printer in the corner of the room is City Industrial Tech Color, so you can look that one up and print them out from the classroom computers. Or you could do this whole project right on the computer, on a Google Doc or something. So if you don't want to print them out, you can just put them right into a Google Doc. And then what you're going to do is under the images, you're going to want to identify what the front, right, side views are. And then this is probably the most important part. This is what's going to take you the time, is this step 5. For each of those images, you want to look at what visual design principles and elements you see. So this is the same step that we did in that last activity. I was just kind of practice for this one. So where do you see balance? Where do you see rhythm? Where do you see economy? What colors, what shapes, what forms do they use? And just write a short description of that. Again, my suggestion would not be to print this out and do it in your notebook, but rather to do it on a Google Doc and then make sure you both have access to that. Here you have just a quick example. So they've taken a couple, in this case 2 different views of this project, and they've written down what they've noticed about this. So from each view, they've kind of noticed the contrast between the colors. The form appears circular shaped, it's textured pattern, it's balanced radially, you have your circular item. But be detailed. This shouldn't just be a couple of sentences. You should be looking for anything that you may notice. And then what you're going to do with that, once you have done with that, you're going to turn that in. So if you've done it on your engineering notebook, you're going to need to take a picture of it, make sure your handwriting is legible so I can read it. If you've done it on a Google Doc, just go ahead and submit the Google Doc. This is worth 20 points. And as you can see, I have a due date set for February 15th. If you start that today, that means you have enough time to get that done in 2 days. That shouldn't take you more than 2 days to do. If you're a little behind of that February 15th date, that's the time to be getting a little bit worried about, am I keeping up? And we need to start thinking about using our time a little bit more effectively or finding some time outside of class to come in and get caught up. Once you're done with this, you can go ahead and submit it and hit next, and then you'll have the 6.3 activity that you'll have to do after that.